What's going on, Charles Botensten? So you can obviously see that it's on a little bit of a professional camera. We also have a microphone, which this is videos that I shot last week, but the audio was all screwed up and everything else. So I think we're on point, which is exactly a great lead into the first video, which is the attributes that I had no idea that I was actually going to get into and realize through self-development. It's not like one of those things that you're like, I want to do this. It was totally different goals that I had no idea, but are just now part of who I am. So I started on the self-development track. So before I even get into that, a very interesting comment this week came in, and it really made me think is that you either have, I've talked about the 10-80-10, which is 10 people just could care less what happens with the world. And then you have 80% of the people, the majority by far, the bell curve, that are just going through life and they're just in the dirt state, just like walking around, tell me what to do, tell me what to think, how to dress, how much to make, just being average. And then you have the top 10%, which is you guys, that are just crushing it, that are like, you know what, I want to create my life. I want to do something well in my life that I'm actually proud of. And ironically enough is, you have a lot of people within that top 10% that don't even know they're in self-development. Self-development is such a wide scope. It's not like I'm reading a book and I'm bettering myself, because there's a lot of people that read books, they better themselves, but they don't take any action towards it. And then there's a lot of people that read books, blah, 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 but don't know or want to, they don't have the thinking that they're in self-development, or even athletes or writers or whatever that are just honing their skills. So here are the three things. Number one is, I wasn't a negative person when I was growing up, but when a situation happened, I would see it how it is, not worse than it is, but see how it is and either complain about it or say, I can't believe that happened. It wasn't like a true victim mentality, but I would be like, oh, that's just unlucky. So really, a lot of shit is going to happen in our lives. It's just, how do you respond to that? How do you respond to that death or that recession or that bankruptcy or that divorce or that breakup or that accident or something that happens in your life? Of course things are going to happen. That's the thing, is that there's this rosy picture that's being just slammed down our throats, being said, this is how life should be, and that no one should ever fail. Everyone should just be perfect. And then when people don't live up to it, they have no idea that that's like the main reason that people have, a depression or they're sad. It's like, yeah, you should have those feelings. But the thing is, how do you respond to it? So number one is, my positivity in general has just risen. And not only has it risen, but I also notice it in people. So if I notice someone's being negative, like last night I was out and it was this girl's birthday, and essentially it was like 8 of her friends. And this one girl, she just you're talking to her in like the most exciting story that I had for that day. She's like, oh, how's it going? And I had this really funny story and I'm telling it, I'm really into it. And she's just sitting there. This is how she was, just looking at me. And in my mind, this is the thing, is in my mind, I'm like, okay, I've seen this before. I know how to handle it. Most people would stop the story or slow down on the story. But I got to the punchline, she laughed and everything else. But in my mind, I'm thinking, this girl is not someone that I would want to be brought into my life or whatever, or continue even talking, because what is this face when I'm telling one of the most exciting stories? As someone's telling me a story, you're like, hey, oh, you gotta be kidding me. You were bike riding 80 miles and then that was the finish, you get into it. So positivity in general is that. And then I heard about it's not to judge, but it's like, you just see the circumstances that someone's in. Like she was talking about where she's living. She had to move back to this other place outside of Manhattan, and, money and everything, and relationships. And it's just like, you're going to start seeing that in your friends. I don't know this girl. And listen, there could have been a hardship or whatnot, but there's a certain track of circumstances that happen when you go on self-development, like myself, which leads me into the second part, which is positivity towards the future. So your positivity right now is, you understand what people are talking about, and you could judge, like, should I continue talking? Do I like this person? Da, da, da. You're able to be like observant. And then when you're looking towards the future, you say, you know what? Because I've created things in my life right now, say money or relationships or wealth or happiness or whatever, you're going to be able to, in the future, be able to replicate your body or your mentality or other relationships or other business. So positivity towards the future. This is the biggest thing, is that a lot of people are like, even Trump said, and nothing political, but make America great again. Like, are you kidding me? We live in the safest part of the world, the safest time in the safest part of the world. We have, poverty is at its lowest, regardless of what they say. War and crime is at its lowest. Deaths, mortality rates, birth mortalities, women who die by giving birth, like everything is down. We have more wealth. Like, people are living longer, they're happier. I shouldn't say happier. That's a different that's a different index. But when you look at it, it's like, Compare yourself to like 30 years ago or 40 years ago or 100 years ago, let alone thousands and thousands, 80, 90, 100,000 years ago. Like, let's be honest. We live in an awesome time where you could spread your message through the internet practically for free. YouTube is free. I bought the camera. I bought the microphone. The knowledge, you know, as Ty Lopez, knowledge. And then the third thing is that you control and you notice your thoughts. So like I was saying in the first example, the girl that I was talking to, is that you're able to control real time the discussion that you're actually having with this girl. So this girl's, I'm explaining a fun story and everything, got to the punchline, she left, and then she started, I was like, oh, nice, where do you live and everything else. Real time, you're able to say, oh, okay, like before you would just accept what she's saying, or you're in an elevator and someone says, oh, what a shitty day out, or it's really cold out, or, can you believe there's so much traffic, or the Giants lost, or the Mets they have a terrible season, or whatever the case is, sports, political, there's so many things to bitch about, or talk about reality TV like The Bachelor or whatever. It's like you can real time decide who you want to talk to because you've replicated that in the past, which is the future, all right? So this is all encompassing. Right now, positivity in the present. You're talking to someone and you say, okay, you know what? This is, my mood or whatever is, I've seen this before, is that if I continue talking to this person, it's gonna go down. So I'm gonna remove myself, she's got plenty of people that she can talk to. I'm gonna remove myself from this and then move over here. And by doing that and saying, you know what, I don't have, do you understand is that I'm giving a small example, but look at this as a micro example of who you hang out with, the classmates, the teammates, your friends, your spouse, your relationships, whatever. It's like real time, be like, is this gonna work out? Another person last night, I was talking to her and she was like, I've been dating this guy and, really long amount of time. And I was like, is it still passionate and it's awesome? She's like, no, it's terrible. She's like, I wanna break up. I'm like, do it now. Do it now, because if you already have that inkling, it's like, I've hired people. When I start thinking, should I fire this person, is when I should fire that person. Obviously not like immediately, because it could be a rash decision. But if you continuously think about it, if I continuously think in my mind, like, maybe I should get healthy, maybe I should get a new job, maybe I should start my own company, maybe I should break up with this person. And then you start seeing examples of jiving, like, it's not like bad. That's the thing, is that people think it's bad. It's like, no, it's just, you call it a lack of chemistry. It's a lack of chemistry. That person's right for someone else. That job that I'm in right now is right for someone else. What I'm studying is right for someone else. Are you kidding me? My brother's in finance, my sister's in finance, my dad was an accountant. What do you think I should have been in? And guess what I was in? Was finance. I volunteered to be laid off in 2009 when it was a recession, and I literally raised my hand. I said, yeah, can you put me on that list to actually be laid off in a recession? I emailed my brother and my family. I said, hey, listen, my email address is out. They said, who did you talk to before making this decision? Because this is the route we've all taken in the family. We've all taken this analytical, blah, 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 being told what to do route. And then, hold on, wait, you volunteered to be laid off in a recession and go somewhere else? And I had no idea what I wanted to do? Yeah, I did that because that job was right for someone else. That relationship, that friendship, that whatever, the body I have is not right for me. It's like, make the changes in life and self-development. Positivity in general, positivity towards the future, and control and notice your own thoughts, which I sort of didn't explain, but that's pretty much it. Is you're able to real time talk to each other, talk to your mind and say, no, I don't want to think that. And then you throw that thought out and you're like, just positivity right now, positivity towards the future. Awesome. Great video. So subscribe to the video. Talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome day. Leave your comments below. And obviously what you have done that's unexpected in the self-development realm that I didn't cover today.